the Vampyre.
Moskowitz, Mia, age 24.
Too young.
Bachelor's in criminal science with a minor in pre-law.
Too damn young.
Master's in forensic chemistry, top of my class, youngest graduate ever.
Way too young. And this is way too important.
He doesn't like me.
I don't like you, Moskowitz.
At least he's honest.
And your age is just one reason I don't like this, and not the biggest one.
Could I ask what the biggest reason is, sir?
It's sergeant, and no, you may not.
Is it because I'm not military? I was in the Civil Air Patrol.
Well, whoop-de-diddly-do. I'm sure that experience will come in very handy in your future endeavors.
I hope not. I'm a forensic chemist.
I don't care.
Do you even know what a forensic chemist is, you hulking Neanderthal?
Why, you
I mean, if I'm not military, I might as well take advantage of it and have some fun, you southern fried, inbred redneck.
They told me you had spunk.
They told me you needed someone non-military.
And on that point, my superiors and I do not agree, and inbred is below the belt.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so the accent gave me away. But being born in the holler and staying there are two different things.
I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, Sergeant.
And I didn't mean to have this conversation at all, but here we are. There.
What is it?
Pick it up and read it.
I'm not picking up anything until you explain what all this is about.
It's your mission.
I'm a civilian. Civilians don't have missions, they have jobs. And jobs, I should point out, are strictly voluntary.
You'll be compensated.
How much?
Well, the student loans for starters.
Very generous. Pass.
Could I ask...
The price comes too high.
You don't even know what the price is. You haven't read the file.
I just have a feeling, so if you'll excuse me, I'll be going.
Anderfor.
What did you say?
Dr. Roger Anderfor. An acquaintance of yours, correct?
I interned with him, but that's impossible. He's...
Dead? Yeah, that's what he wants everyone to think.
We had a memorial service. We had a party.
You didn't like him?
We all loved him. It was... What do you call it? A wake. This isn't possible.
Well, actually, it happens more than you might think. People disappear for all kinds of reasons.
Dr. Anderfor is alive?
And working like a little beaver up there in Canada.
I don't understand.
You're a Canadian national, yes? From, Fort Francis, Ontario?
Well, Mom was from there. Dad was from the Falls. International Falls. Minnesota. It's a border town. We all kind of ran back and forth.
So, which are you?
I'm a U.S. citizen.
With, according to this, a Canadian passport?
Look, that was just for a trip to Europe. Things go a lot smoother over there with a Canadian passport.
Yeah, I'll bet. Look, I don't care how many passports you have. I just want to know, are you a Canadian national?
I've never really lived there, but yes.
You have family up there?
Tons.
Get in touch with them. You're coming for a visit.
Why would
We think he's done it, Ms. Moskowitz. We think he's completed his work.
Dehydrated oxygen therapeutics?
If that's a long way to say freeze-dried blood, then yeah.
It was never blood. It was artificial blood. We can make it, but we can't store it very easily. Dr. Anderfor was working on a way to dehydrate it.
Funded, in case you didn't know, by Uncle Sam. You can imagine how us redneck army morons might be interested in blood plasma that keeps in any weather and just takes a little water to save a soldier's life.
It would revolutionize battlefield medicine.
Which is why we were so surprised when he faked his death, left the country, and picked up his work while hiding out in the bush.
He has a lab?
He has a compound. 2 buildings plus an old cabin. It's on an Indian reservation, and those folks aren't letting anyone near him. Figure he's bought 'em off.
Reserve.
What?
It's not called a reservation in Canada. It's called a reserve. And it's not Indian, it's First Nations.
You like correcting people, don't you, Moskowitz?
I don't understand what you want me to do.
Work for him. Turns out Anderfor needs a hired hand, a librarian. He put an ad in the local shopper, if you can believe that. You're Cover story will be that you were visiting family in the area, saw the ad with his name, and couldn't pass up the chance to see him.
My cover story?
To be his librarian, yes.
I would love to be Dr. Anifor's assistant. Unfortunately, I've already accepted a position with the Pennsylvania State Police.
Where you can look forward to spending the next 10 years earning damn near minimum wage while cleaning out beakers in a filthy lab and trying real hard not to be a woman in a man's job.
And you'd rather I betray an old friend?
Who said anything about betraying? We just want to know what he's up to, and if possible, why he left the country to do it. Look, if he's perfected his technology, we'll pay whatever he wants. It'll be worth it.
Then why not go talk to him?
Intelligence assets are needed elsewhere.
You could always ask the Canadians to check him out.
We could, if we wanted them or anyone else to know what he was doing.
Sorry, I don't really understand.
There would be a fee on top of the student loans.
Pass.
And we could see to that other thing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I was looking through your file. How long have you been in remission?
What? Are those medical records?
Very thorough ones.
Those are supposed to be confidential.
A lot of things are supposed to be confidential. According to this, the cancer's come back every 5 years since you were 12, right?
Despicable. Arrogant.
The first 2 rounds of therapy about bankrupted your father, that in college. And with him gone now and you with all those loans, looks kind of bleak if the cancer comes back. But you've got your pride, your loyalty to the doctor. I get it. But this won't be covert ops. We're not going to put a bag over your head and throw you in the back of a car. No one's making you do anything. We're just making you an offer.
No.
Remember, if the cancer does come back and things don't go your way, we'll come after your ma for the bills and your loans.
What's the mission?
You'll head over the border and spend a few days with family. Say you're tired after school and need a break before starting your new job. First and next week, you dial the number in the ad. Don't try to hide anything. Tell him who you are and that you'd love to work with him.
What if he doesn't give me the job?
Unlikely. Where he's at, the locals run more towards GEDs than master's degrees. He knows you.
And he faked his death to get away from me.
I doubt it was you he was getting away from. If he seems reticent to talk to you, just use your old schoolgirl charms to reassure him. Let him know you mean no harm. Come off curious.
He still might not hire me.
We'll cross that bridge when and if. Cell signal's pretty spotty up there, so we'll have to take a few walks to find one. Look for high ground. It's got a single computer hooked up to the internet by cable, no Wi-Fi, and no landline phone. Nearest town's 5 miles up the road.
What exactly do you want me to do?
Find out how far along he is. If he has the formula, you might see about acquiring it.
I thought you said you'd pay whatever he wanted.
We will, once the package is in hand. Good hunting.
Hello? Dr. Anderfor? Huh?
It is you.
What? You scared me.
What are you doing here, Mia?
How did you even sneak up on me like that? I didn't even see you.
Mia, what are you doing here?
I'm sorry. I saw your ad in the paper.
We're a long way from the university.
I'm from here, remember?
What?
I told you on the phone. I'm from Fort Francis, and I've got family in Emo, Sioux Lookout, all over. I was at my aunt's house when I saw a copy of The Shopper, and I couldn't believe it. I thought, I know. What? Why did you do it? I mean, if you wanted to leave the university, just retire. Don't fake your own death.
You must be tired after your drive. Let me show you to your room.
Dr. Anderfor.
Mia, I was glad when you called. It was good to hear a familiar voice. But if we're going to do this, if we're going to work together, there has to be some rules. First among them, my past decisions are in the past. They're not open for discussion. Do you understand?
Of course.
Okay. I'll show you to your room. And it's very good to see you. And this is the library.
Wow.
Yes, I've not had any help for quite some time. There's plenty of paper notes here. I tried to date everything.
Okay.
Your job will be organizing these and transcribing. This old warhorse here is for the transcriptions. I hope you like typing.
Is that machine connected to the internet?
Lord, no. It's still running on Windows 95. Not much good for anything but word processing, I'm afraid. You'll back up by burning CDs. I have a spindle over here. I apologize for the state of this place. I haven't had any help for a long time.
Yes.
Do you remember Lily?
Oh, your wife. Yes. Is she here?
She passed on last year.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She was my last librarian. She left you with a good foundation. Everything except for the past 10 months or so is utter chaos. But before that, it's all organized. You should have an easy time learning her system. Lily had a remarkable mind.
I'm so sorry.
It's all right. Well, you have a lot of work to do. I think you'll be interested in how the research is going. Great strides, Mia. Great strides. There's a room with a cot back there. That will be where you sleep. I hope you don't mind bunking with your work.
No, of course not.
There's just me, you, and Lyle. He's a local fellow. Just a high school education, but a real gift for chemistry. Meals are in the cabin. Just fend for yourself. If there's anything you'd like in particular by way of groceries, just let Lyle know. He does the shopping.
That sounds fine. Doctor?
Yes?
I have so many questions.
The answers are all there in those papers, Mia. I'll let you settle in.
Okay, I'll see. Moskowitz log, June 14th, first entry. I'm keeping this log with the voice recorder app on my phone, separate from all the other computers in the compound because I want there to be an accurate record of what's going on here. It seems unlikely that the government will leave Dr. Anderfor alone for much longer, and when they do come for him, I'm sure they'll have a very logical story already in place. That's why I'm keeping this log. I want to make sure the real story is recorded. I've been here 2 days. There's a lot of work to do. The research in dehydrated oxygen therapeutics appears to be going very well. Still, there's something about it that's strange. It's like the focus of Dr. Anderfor's work has shifted somehow. I'm still transcribing work from 9 months ago. Maybe things will make more sense as I get closer to the present. I don't see anyone else much. Dr. Anderfor is in his lab all the time, and Lyle, the local guy who helps out, is virtually mute. I happened to have lunch with him the other day, and he didn't say 2 words. We all have our own little buildings with our own beds. I feel safe enough. I just wonder what Lyle's job here is. I never see him in the lab. Bars, finally.
About damn time.
You said it would be hard to find a cell signal.
Are you away from everyone?
Of course. I hardly see anyone.
What do you have for me?
The work is continuing. He needed a librarian because his wife died a year ago. She'd done the job before.
Wife. Lily?
That's right.
Did you know her?
Met her at department parties once or twice. Why?
Nothing. What else?
That's about it. I'm transcribing notes. Still about 6 months out from the present, and...
And what? What is it?
Nothing.
I thought we talked about your misplaced loyalty.
I don't think it's particularly misplaced.
Then I'll keep it simple for you. You know how much you owe in student loans? The loans we're offering to pay?
I think it's 20.
$45,624.19. Don't you think for that amount of money, plus the interest you won't be paying for the rest of your life, I deserve a little confidence? Now tell me, what is it?
It's nothing. It's just a feeling.
Just a feeling has saved my butt more than once. What is it?
Things don't seem right somehow. The research, it's like there's a slightly different focus. I can't explain it.
Well, keep on that. You never know. Weekly updates.
I don't know if I can get out.
Weekly updates.
What a jackass. What? Is someone in there? Is someone there? Dr. Anderfor? Lyle? Hello? 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 Oh, God! What the hell was that?
Wouldn't you like to know?
What the hell?
Mia, that is you. Are you all right?
What? Where am I?
Oh, if you want to camp out, you're more than welcome to, but... Oh, my.
What is it?
You're covered in scratches. Have you been running through the trees?
I don't know.
Well, we've got to get you inside and get those wounds tended to.
What?
What were you doing out here? Oh, never mind. Never mind. Come in. We need to get you fixed up.
Log June 24th. It's been less than 2 weeks, and it feels like years. Dr. Anderfor hasn't said anything about my little incident in the woods. But I can't think about anything else. And even if I could put it out of my mind, my subconscious doesn't want to let me. The dreams have been strange. I'm always in the woods like I was that night, and she's always there. A presence I can't see, but I can feel. I know it's feminine, I just know. She's there and she's stalking me.
Come closer, little girl.
And then I wake up. Every night I'm having these dreams. It's influencing my work. I'm feeling weak. There was some blood in my urine this morning, first time in 3 years. I need to get to a doctor soon, that much is sure. And that means I need to finish this job. Doctor?
Mia, I keep telling you, don't stand on formality.
Yes, you do keep telling me.
It's Roger.
I'll try and remember. Do you have a minute?
Just putting down some notes. More work for you, I'm afraid.
That's fine. I had to ask you a question.
Yes?
The work, it's not what I expected.
Oh, is the load too heavy? I'm in no hurry here, Mia. There's no grant funding to run out. Take your time.
No, it's not that. It's just...
Yes?
Well, at the university, you worked on dehydrated therapeutics.
Yes.
Are you still working in that area?
Of course. Why would you think otherwise?
I don't know. It just seems that some of the more recent notes... I'm not entirely sure how they apply.
I don't understand.
Well, last week, for example, I was reading about your experiments on various enzymes in the blood substitute. Why on earth would you add animal enzymes to the formula? Those proteins break down much slower, and they're more difficult to rehydrate. How does that help the research?
I'll have to go look at those notes again.
Yes, but why would you even...
Just a silly notion, an experiment.
You spend 3 days on it.
Yes, well, as I say up here in the bush, the mind plays tricks sometimes.
In fact, over the last 3 months, it doesn't seem like you're working on dehydration at all. You're just changing the formula of the blood.
The two are related, Mia.
Yes, but we have very good oxygen therapeutics. Why would you...
I really should get back to work. Would you excuse me?
Of course. Dr. Anderfor was never the secretive type. He didn't care who got the credit, and he was never one to think about patents and which formula would make him rich. But up here, he was much more secretive. And his work, it wasn't making sense. His work was supposed to be on dehydrating artificial blood, but according to his notes, he wasn't working on dehydration at all. He was just messing with the blood, trying new formulas, almost like he was working on a recipe. I knew I needed to figure out what was happening soon, and finally, yesterday I caught a break.
I'm going into Thunder Bay tomorrow. Do you need anything?
No, I think I'm fine.
You like those ramen noodles, don't you? I'll pick up a case.
Sure, that would be fine.
You can look after things while I'm gone.
Certainly. Is there something in the lab?
No, don't worry about that. I want to make sure you'll be okay.
I'm fine, Doctor. Thank you. He left at 8 a.m. I didn't expect him back until nightfall. Lyle, his assistant, had been doing some kind of late-night experiment and would be sleeping all day. I had about 5 hours to get into his lab and learn what I could. Of course, Dr. Anderfor's lab was locked. Thinking through my options, I decided the best one was to force the door, look around inside, and then hope that Lyle and the doctor would believe that it was some random vandals. That, or if I could find what Sergeant Smith was looking for, I could just make a run for it. I didn't really want to do that, not to the doctor. Turns out it really didn't matter. I went and found a crowbar in the tool shed next to the cabin, but when I returned to the lab, the door was ajar. I had tried it. I was sure I'd tried it, and I was sure it had been locked. But there it was, a sliver of darkness between the door and the doorway. Inside, things were about what I expected. His equipment was a little older than he had back at the university, but I imagine he had to buy most of it used when he got here. I didn't focus much on that. I was more curious about the files. There wasn't much here that I didn't already know. I was the project librarian after all. More of the same, research that wasn't quite right for some elusive reason.
Batch 3226 complete. I'm hoping the issues our subject complained of are resolved. I'm beginning to lose patience.
The conclusions? Strange. Difficult to follow. Dr. Anderfor seemed to be making progress, but toward what? I was lost in thought, digging through papers. So lost, I guess, that I didn't realize that I wasn't alone. I had turned on a single lamp, just a small one on the desk where I leaned over the papers. I was so distracted, so focused on looking for some clue, that I almost didn't see it. I almost didn't see the ashen hand reach over, just barely into my peripheral vision, and click off the light. For a moment, I was frozen. Then I began to back away slowly from the desk. The door was closed, so the room was pitch black. I hit something and nearly fell. A chair. I rested my hand on the chair back just for a moment, just to steady myself when I felt another hand come down on top of it. A cold hand. Freezing cold. Like ice.
Don't be afraid. Do you understand me?
Yes.
I'm sorry about the light. I'm just so much more comfortable in the dark.
Could you take your hands off me, please?
Why?
I don't like it.
Very well. There. Better?
Who are you?
Don't you recognize my voice, Mia? Don't you know who I am? Oh, well, that's not surprising, I suppose. There were so many of you fresh-faced little grad students, I can hardly expect them to remember me, considering we met, once? Twice?
Lily?
Very good. I do make an impression.
He said you were dead.
Yes, but he said the same thing of himself. It's becoming quite the habit for Roger.
I don't understand.
He's gone for the day, and you were going to break in here. That means you're curious, like a good scientist.
I'm sorry. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Dr. Anderford.
Why would I do that?
What?
Why would I tell Roger that you broke in? That you were so curious, you were ready to break down the door to find out what secrets he was hiding? Why would I tell him that when one of his secrets was me?
I don't know.
Of course not. You lack information. You're not feeling very curious now. You're terrified. But the terror will fade, and curiosity will remain. And you'll be back. Why don't I save us all the trouble? Why don't you just stay?
I don't want...
It is what you want, believe me. You're the sick one, right? The one with cancer.
What does that have to do with...
We have a cure.
What?
We have a cure for you. Permanent, everlasting, and only a few side effects.
He's working on a cancer cure?
Roger, don't be silly. He's an adequate scientist, but he's not that good. No, we discovered on a recent trip to Europe a rather remarkable cure for a great many things. You see, when the body dies, most diseases die with it. Cancer chief among them. You can't have out-of-control cell growth with no life in the cells.
I don't understand.
Don't you? It's simple. Death cures all. Of course, the trick is managing to go on functioning after submitting to the cure.
What are you talking about?
It's almost like being alive. In my case, it was an accident. Roger dragged me to this little school in Romania, the European equivalent of a community college. There was a doctor there that could help with the work, Roger said. Only the doctor's field was a little different from Roger's. He was working with some of the locals, a very old family. Very, very old. One of them, a son I think it was, took a liking to me, and I was just pissed off enough at Roger to do something about it.
You had an affair?
Like the turkey has an affair with a carving knife. They were going to leave me for dead, but Roger begged them to do something. That's Roger, always coming up with a stupid idea at the last minute. So they did. One ritualized blood transfusion later, here I am, talking to you in the dark.
Maybe we should go over to the cabin, get something to eat.
Little girl, was that supposed to be a test? Did you want to see if I'd come out into the daylight?
The
answer is no, Mia. I can't go into the light. Understand?
What do you mean, a cure for me?
What did you think I meant? The cancer is growing again, Mia. I can smell it in you. And you probably don't have very long this time. There would be no student health insurance to offset the cost.
I need to go.
Don't be silly. You're not going anywhere.
I really think I should...
You're not going anywhere, little girl. It's been a long time since I tasted fresh blood.
Let go of me!
Trust me, you're going to like this. Well, not at first.
You're hurting me!
Quit squirming. It'll just be our little secret.
Let go!
Mia, trust me. Death is everything it's cracked up to be.
Let go! You're hurting me!
This will only take a moment. First pain, then a delicious emptiness, and then you'll reawaken a new woman.
Help! me out of here! Log, I'm not sure of the date. I made it back to the library where I double-locked the door and slid a desk in front of it besides. I don't know what would have happened if Lyle had not heard my screams. Lily is insane. Perhaps that's why the doctor came here, to get away from the questions and the prying eyes. But as I hide in my little sleeping quarters, every light I could find blazing bright, I can't help but think how it felt to be in Lily Anderfor's grip. She was so cold and so strong. And in the moment of light after Lyle opened the door, I saw her. She was gray and possibly thin, like a corpse. She ran away low to the ground like an animal. But worst of all was the smell she gave off when she was close to me. I'd toured a morgue once to write a paper, and I'll never forget that smell. The smell was death. Later, I don't know how much later, a knock came at the door.
Mia! Mia, it's Dr. Anderfor. Are you all right? Mia!
Give me a minute. There's something blocking the door.
Dear God! Are you all right? Did she touch you?
You knew?
Of course I knew. Lyle called the minute it happened. I rushed straight back. Are you hurt? Did she scratch or cut you in any way?
What is going on up here?
Please, answer me.
No. There's some bruises on my wrists, that's all.
Oh, good.
Aren't you going to ask if she bit me?
I suppose I owe you an explanation.
It would be appreciated, yes.
Lily is sick. She has a rare condition. Very rare.
Yes, I can see that.
It's not what you think. It's a mental illness. I've gathered a large amount of material on lycanthropy. It's a legitimate condition.
You mean she's a werewolf?
Oh, there are no such things as werewolves. It's a psychological condition where the victim believes certain things.
But she doesn't believe she's a werewolf, does she?
No,
She believes she's a vampire.
She's always been strained, nervous. I suppose something like this was not completely unexpected.
She told me the story about Romania.
She did? Oh, yes. Well, that's where the neurosis began.
I see.
Things were particularly strained between us then. She kept wanting me to leave the university. Said I was spending too much time working. I thought the change of scenery might do her good, and there was a researcher there I wanted to meet.
Yes, she mentioned.
But there were people. A superstitious mountain family that thought, well, I imagine you know what they thought.
So you didn't leave the university until after it happened?
Oh, of course not.
Okay. That simplifies things.
I don't understand.
There's something I need to tell you. I didn't exactly come up here on my own.
You were sent. I know.
You know?
Well, I guessed. The university? Is it the government?
The army.
Ah, yes. That would make sense.
They told me to come up and try and figure out why you left the university for a shack in the woods.
Why should that be any business of theirs?
They paid for your research.
Well, they paid for my research back there. I'm writing my own ticket now, and my work doesn't have anything to do with them.
Yes, I see that. I don't suppose you made any progress on dehydrated therapeutics?
I haven't worked on that for weeks. I still play with it now and then, but there's been no real progress. There's no time.
I don't understand. You must have known I'd figured out what was going on. I'm the librarian.
Yes, but I thought it might take you a while to work to that part of the notes. I thought I'd come up with something in the meantime.
But why not just tell me?
I'm not very good at subterfuge, I'm afraid. That's why we came up to the middle of nowhere. Fewer questions. My original plan for the librarian was to hire some local who couldn't possibly understand the notes. But when you called, I couldn't resist. Lyle's not much for conversation, and Lily is rather single-minded. I wanted the company.
But you could have told me.
That my wife thought she was a vampire? It didn't seem like the kind of thing you'd greet an intelligent colleague with.
All right, I need to pack my things.
What?
They offered to cover my medical bills if I found out how far you've gotten with the dehydrated therapeutics. I know now. As long as they honor their side of the bargain, I can...
You can't go!
What?
Please, Mia, you can't. Now that you know, I can move you into the lab with me. You can assist, and my progress will be twice as fast.
Progress towards what? What exactly are you working on now?
Oxygen therapeutics, just like always.
But we have a good artificial plasma. It was the dehydration that was the issue.
Yes, the existing therapeutics are fine, but she doesn't like them.
Oh my God.
Are you all right?
I think I'm gonna be sick.
You can't leave me.
What?
You can't leave the work. We're close. We're very close.
The animal enzymes. Oh, those were to change the flavor, weren't they?
You have to stay.
No.
Mia.
I'm not. I can't. This work is disgusting. That woman needs to be put in a mental hospital, and you keep her locked up in a shed and feed her. Feed her.
She isn't locked up. She stays in during the day and goes out at night.
To do what? Hunt? Oh my God.
It keeps her happy. I'm afraid of what will happen if I keep her instincts bottled up.
Has she killed people?
No, of course not. Just animals.
Oh, just like Twilight.
No. You've seen the reality. You've seen what it does.
So your plan is what? Give her a substitute for blood and then live happily ever after?
No. She needs help, I know that. But this will buy me some time. I need to research therapists very carefully. I can't have her turned into someone's paper or thesis. Please, can you help me?
I didn't know what to say, so I said nothing. He stared at me a while, mumbled something about giving me a chance to think about it, then left. And I did think. I thought about it for 5 or 6 seconds before I got my things together and walked to my car. And discovered that it suddenly developed mechanical problems. Next step, march up the hill where I'd gotten a cell signal before and call for help. That went through all right, but my hero, Sergeant Smith, wasn't answering. I left him a message that was mostly true, but left out a few details. I ended it about like you'd expect. He put me here. He had to get me out. Now. But of course, he didn't come. Just like I knew he wouldn't. Though I kept my room in the library shack, my work moved into the lab with Dr. Anderfor. Lily was there too. Always in the shadows. Always wanting to see without being seen. Always.
Could you hand me that culture, please?
Yes, Doctor.
Yeah, I've told you.
Roger, I mean. Here.
Thank you.
Very touching seeing you two together.
Lily, you should be in your room. You need your rest.
Shows how little you know. Besides, I want to watch.
You never wanted to watch before.
Not that stupid. I want to watch this oh-so-trite romance bloom.
Lily, please.
I'm sorry, I should go.
Don't be silly. Stay. Work side by side with your hero and see if he notices you.
Lily.
As sidelong glance your hands accidentally touch when reaching for a test tube. It's all very romantic, like a cheap paperback.
Don't
Please get some sleep.
And I keep telling you, I don't sleep. Not anymore. I just lay on that cot, staring at the ceiling. You know I can feel the sun through the walls. It's true, I can feel its heat like a chemical burn that I can almost, but not quite catch. The tickling of my flesh right before the sear. It's a particularly benign torture, but torture nevertheless. I'd much rather be out here with you two, my brave husband trying so very hard to overcome this family shame with his pert young assistant at his side.
Lily, please.
Tell me, have you two done it yet? I'm sorry, dear. Did I shock you?
Miss Anderford,
Lily, please.
You have to understand I would never...
It wouldn't be the first time, Mia. Or didn't you know that? Did you tell her, Roger, about the girl your first year at the university? And the girl I caught you with 3 years back? The time I surprised you and that lab assistant at the conference. My Roger, look at her, blushing right down to her toes.
I know you're feeling bad today, but perhaps it would be better if you left us to our work.
Oh, don't subject me to that boredom, Roger. You and Wonderbra there are the only show in town.
Miss Anderford.
I've told you.
And I told you I would never touch your husband. Or anyone for that matter. Not now. It could lead to complications that I simply don't have time for. I'm going to be dead soon, and it wouldn't be fair to him or anyone. Excuse me.
Well, Roger, you sure can pick them.
No.
You answered.
And the answer is no, we will not come and get you.
He sabotaged my car.
Which means you can get him on destruction of property. Call the Mounties.
You know, that's not a bad idea. I'll call them, they do an investigation, I tell them all about why I'm here.
You think you're being clever, don't you? How's it gonna look? You, a former student, goes to work with her professor, claiming she's actually a spy for the U.S. government. Throw in a few gadgets and a catchy theme, and we got us a movie.
I've completed my mission. You have to come get me.
Completed how? You tell us he's not working on dehydration anymore, and that's it?
That's what's happening.
That's not enough. He's got further than anyone else in this area, and we're not willing to give up on him.
But he's not working on it anymore.
Well, then what is he working on? Well?
His wife is sick. He's trying to help her.
By faking his death and skipping the country? No sale. What's really going on up there?
What does it matter what he's doing? I'm telling you, he's not working on dehydration any longer. I'll bring you his notes, all of them, and you can see for yourself. Just come and get me.
What is your game?
What?
Something about this whole thing smells to high heaven, and I can't figure out what it is. What are you really doing up there, Moskowitz? What are you and the doctor up to?
I guess you'll have to come up here and find out.
Now, you stay put.
But You
stay put for now, and keep making those reports.
I told you, there's nothing to report.
Weekly reports, or you'll never see a dime from us. Goodbye, Moskowitz.
He's working on a weapon.
What did you say?
It's a weapon. That's what he's working on. Chemical-based, anti-personnel.
Describe it to me.
No.
Moskowitz, we're getting awful close to treason.
I got a Canadian mother and an American father, and I never formally declared for either country. Try me for treason and all you'll get is a mess. Look, the whole situation here is more complicated than you think, but I can't explain it over the phone.
Well, that seems awfully convenient.
Give me 48 hours, then come. I'll show you everything, and if it's not enough, I'll stay here. I'll stay here as long as you want.
You are becoming a real problem, Moskowitz.
Enough of a problem to pass up the weapon of the 21st century?
48 hours.
Moskowitz, log. I've just had another conversation with Smith. My options appear to be narrowing. My symptoms are getting worse. I'm weaker, not sleeping. I had a coughing fit yesterday so bad I think I cracked a rib. He won't extract me from this situation, so I'm left with very little choice. Are you here?
Where else would I be?
It's night. I thought you might be outside, hunting.
After my little performance in the lab today, I thought I'd give Roger a break. Do things his way for a change.
Right.
You don't believe me?
I don't think you do much of anything except what you want. And I think it's been that way for a long time.
Well, look who found a backbone.
I'm here to cut the crap.
Meaning what?
I have to get out of here, but someone sabotaged my car.
And you need what? An auto parts store?
Did your husband tell you why I'm here? Who sent me, I mean?
I thought there was something different about you. He's had a lot of little chippies sniff around over the years, but you were different somehow. I take it you're a spy?
The Army wants some return on the investment they made in his research.
And they sent little old you to get it.
I was sent to figure out what's going on, but they didn't like it. They don't believe he's abandoned dehydrated therapeutics.
Did you tell them why?
No, they wouldn't have believed that either. I told them what they wanted to hear. What the Army always wants to hear.
What?
Promise to help me.
What did you tell them? What do they know?
Promise to help me. What do you want, Lily? Do you want to stay here? Hunt deer in the woods? Have Roger fawning over you? Embarrassment in his eyes every moment?
You are beginning to anger me.
Good. Maybe if you were a little pissed, you'd be able to tear yourself away from the witty bon mot and actually accomplish something.
Fine.
Fine what?
Fine, I promise to help you.
I'm going to turn on his desk lamp now. Brace yourself.
It doesn't hurt me.
But I know how you like to be in the shadows. I'm going to need this lab for a while. Where is he?
He and that Hulk went to town for supplies.
Why is Lyle here, anyway?
Roger thought he would be big enough to handle me.
I need to work for a while. I need to come up with a sedative that will work for 12 hours or more. Shouldn't take me more than an hour. And I'll need you.
For what?
Just stay close.
Sweetheart, I think you and I are going to be close for a very long time.
Come on, Moskowitz. GPS says this is a spot. The hell? Did she just leave it in the woods?
I didn't need it anymore.
Jesus, you scared me.
Did I? Sorry. Living in the woods has made me quiet as a deer.
All right, I came. Now show me this weapon.
Did you come alone?
Yes, and it's my ass if I don't have something to show for it. Is this the compound?
If you can call 2 sheds and a cabin a compound, sure.
Well, where's the weapon? Over here?
No, I brought it to you.
What's going on?
Whatever do you mean?
I told you when I sent you up here, trust your instincts like I trust mine. Guess what mine are telling me right now?
Telling you something's wrong with Mia?
Loud and clear. So you stay right where you are.
I'm no threat to you, Sergeant.
Now, well, let me be the judge of that.
I'm not a threat. She is.
My, he's a big one, isn't he?
Jesus, what are you?
You'd better come over here, Sergeant. Lily can't always be trusted with her instincts.
What is going on here?
I told you. Dr. Antifor is working on a new weapon.
Where is it?
right in front of you.
She's the weapon?
Well, one of them.
What?
Dr. Andifor's research has taken an interesting turn, and he's added a new subject.
Good evening, and what was the purpose of your visit to Canada?
Hi, Larry.
Is that Mia?
Hi.
Oh gosh, Mia, I haven't seen you since graduation. Hey, you still in school?
No, I'm about done.
How's your cousin?
Are you still carrying that torch?
No, I'm married now. Jamie Strock.
You married Jamie Strock and didn't send me an invite?
Well, sorry, I just thought, you were away at school all the time.
I'm kidding, Larry. I'm kidding.
Oh, you always could get me. Hey, a supervisor be on my ass, I don't do my job. Who's in the car there with you?
A friend.
Hello.
Evening. You guys got Nexus cards or something?
No, regular passports.
Oh, good. Can I see him, please? Where are you coming from?
Up Anderson Creek a ways. We were camping.
Oh, hey, did you hear about that doctor guy up there, the one that got caught for murder?
Yeah, I heard the guy he killed hasn't even been identified yet.
It's the weirdest thing. Between you and me, they say he might have been a spy.
Like someone's gonna spy on Northern Ontario.
I know, right? Here's your passports back.
Thank you.
You gonna be around town?
No, Lily and I are headed back to the university. She's got a house down there.
Oh, you girls going back to school?
No, I'm going to find Mia a boyfriend.
Stop it.
Oh, yeah, well, happy hunting.
Yes.
Back in school, we never could get her nose out of a book long enough to notice any of us. Oh, say, I hope you don't mind me asking, but when I tell Jamie about this, I'm sure she'll ask, so,
What is it?
how's that other thing? I knew you were sick a long time.
You mean the cancer?
Sorry.
It's all gone, Larry. Completely taken care of.
Hey, that's great news. You should go by Sunday. We're having a barbecue.
Maybe. Maybe dessert sometime, after dark. Rain check for this weekend, though?
Fair enough. You ladies take care now.
Thanks, Larry. Say hi to Jamie.
Sure.
He was tasty looking.
Forget it. No one in my hometown, Lily. Ever. These people, they'll just talk. We'll be better off in a college town. A big college town.
No shortage of young blood there. Ever.
This has been The Vampyre, written and directed by Jeffrey Adams. Your cast this evening featured Douglas Screef as Dr. Enderfor, Jeffrey Adams as the Customs Guard, Justin Kapla as Sergeant Smith, Ayla McIntosh was Lily, and Autumn Silvers portrayed Mia. Sound effects realized by Jeffrey Adams and Dave Irwin. Some effects downloaded from the Freesound Project at freesound.org. This program copyright 2015 by the Icebox Radio Theater. All rights reserved.